Good morning, everybody. The other side, back with another video. Just kind of brainstorming, and we just got out of a safety meeting out here on the right of way, and I decided to jump in here and I guess make me a video real quick. I got the time. The potential is always there. You just got to find out what it is you're supposed to be doing, and that's kind of what I want to talk about this morning. I feel like everybody has something that they should be doing. It's something that you want to be doing. It's something that you wish you were doing. You wish you had the courage to do. You wish you had the ability, the strength, the money, the time, just the effort to put into something that you feel like you should be doing, and you're not doing it. Or maybe you have doing it. But my message today is to, in some kind of way, push you towards doing whatever it is you haven't been doing, but you feel like you should be doing. I know life gets in the way sometimes. Well, life gets in the way a lot. You have to make decisions, maybe on a daily basis, on what you need to do, prioritizing. Just like this morning, I got stuff that I need to be doing. I got a little time before we get out here and start, doing any kind of welding. I decided to take advantage of the moment that I do have to drop this video and hopefully help somebody at least realize that it's something that you should be doing. I haven't always been the type of person to get in front of a camera and talk to you like this. I feel like, standing in front of a crowd was something that I, at some point in my life, could enjoy doing, but I never had the courage to do it. Even when I was young, I used to enter the spelling bee because me and my brother, we used to always compete and try to bring home the bigger trophy, and we always did bring home, the big trophies, me and my younger brother. We competed when it came to the spelling bee, but the one part that always bothered me was standing up in front of a crowd of people. And I never really got over it, while I was in school doing the spelling bees and stuff. And even as I grew older, I saw how that kind of reflected in my life, that lack of courage, to stand up in front of a lot of people and talk. And certain scenarios in my life, things happen to where, I had to push myself or tell myself, hey, the only way you're going to be able to get this done is to get out there and do it head first, and not really think about the results or how people gonna look at you, whether you look funny, get embarrassed. That all comes with it. And I think the sooner people start to accept that reality, the quicker you can get on to doing whatever it is you're supposed to be doing. This video is not for everybody, so I'm not talking to everybody. I'm talking to the people who obviously struggle with doing things that you should be doing, but stuff just always gets in the way of it. I think the main thing is that you prioritize whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing. And I'm not giving you rules to live by or anything like that. I'm just simply diving into some sort of a plan if you don't have a plan. First thing I would do is write down what's most important to me. Whether it's 5 or 10 items or whatever, put the most important thing at the very top and focus on whatever it takes to get that knocked out. Because you don't want to spend your life working on things that are less important. You want to get the most important things in the front and make sure that they happen. What I'm trying to say is that you should prioritize, put first things first, and laser focus on the first thing that you really want to get knocked out. Nail it down and work on the rest of your goals from there. I think it's something magical that happens when you decide, when you decide, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna focus on this one thing and get it done. I think that we need to get to a place to where we consider first things first. This morning, I'm gonna get started on my API 1169. I'm gonna start studying on that while most of these guys are standing around in a circle right now. I don't know if you can see them, but they over there in front of that truck. And nothing against them, but man, if you got something that you want to get done, standing around in a circle, telling jokes and all that type of stuff, I don't know. They probably look at me different because I don't stand in the circle and joke around with them in the morning. I have conversations with everybody throughout the day, different people throughout the day, but I'm not the type to stand around and just waste time shooting the shit and just talking about nonsense. My priority this morning is to get up in here and read this 1169, digest as much of this information as I can, because in 9 days I'm going to take my exam and hopefully I pass it on the first try. Today is the time to get this knocked out. People say that they want things, and at the end of the day, you know, it's all about the action that you take, and what are you really investing in that's going to get you closer to the goal that you want to reach. It's not just going to come to you. You got to go and get it. It takes more than just sitting around thinking about it, or, you know, writing it down, or planning and, you know, not following through with it. You got to get out there and you got to make some stuff happen. I'm going to take advantage of every opportunity that comes my way and see it from so many different angles. You got to open your eyes and look for them moments and know that, hey, you know, this right here is a moment that could change my life if I do the right thing, if I do the thing that catapults me into the next position. That's basically what I'm doing with my life. I'm manufacturing steps that didn't exist in my mind before. I'm gonna try to give you a good picture of what I'm talking about. Back in 2017, I was being released from, you know, being incarcerated for almost 3 years. First thing on my mind was to find a job. I didn't care where I worked at. I went and got a job at the gas station. I want to show you the progress from ground level to basically where I am right now. Working at the gas station as a maintenance man, I would, you know, clean toilets and all that type of stuff, take out the trash, pressure wash the parking lot, greet customers, all types of stuff. From there, I went and applied with this construction company, and I got on as a laborer hand. It was more money. It was probably twice or 2 or 3 times as much as I was making at the gas station. It was a no-brainer. I worked there for a while, and I got lucky one day. A friend of mine hit me up, and he was like, "Hey, man, you want to go pipeline?" I said, "Hell yeah." A friend got me the job, and I took off and went to Colorado to do my higher end packet and all that stuff, drug tests and all, and started working in Kansas with him, you know, just doing pretty much environmental cleanup type stuff. The way that they paid at the time was like the best thing that ever happened to me, because I had never made that kind of money before. So I wanted to stick with this company as long as I could, and they ended up laying us off. And then they picked us back up, and then they laid us off again because we moved up to Montana and it got way below freezing. From there, I came back home. I ended up taking another job, which is one that I consider the best job I ever had. Gonzales, Louisiana, with another friend of mine. He got me on. With this company, I started tackling personal goals left and right. I'm not trying to show off or do better than everybody else or make myself look better than everybody else. I go in with everything that I got. I learned equipment, you know, operation. I got introduced to the certification side of everything, like being certified to run equipment and certified to spray certain herbicides. Started working on those things, and when I realized you get a raise for these certifications that you're getting, I started realizing that there was, you know, a certain type of attention coming with it also. People started recognizing me and seeing me as the guy that goes out there and gets it and is going to knock it out and go, you know, make something happen. Where, you know, most people sit back and look at it like, you know what, I ain't doing that. I ain't finna, you know, I'm not finna do all that for this company. I took it as my opportunity to go and make something happen for myself, which is what I did. I worked on getting my CDL. What it took to get started on the CDL, I started going to parking lots, just practicing on trucks that I was seeing out in the parking lot, not touching them, but walking around and doing the whole visual inspection on the pre-trip inspection on vehicles, on trucks that I couldn't see up under the hood because it wasn't my vehicle. I would just imagine that I could see, you know, the water pump and the air compressor and all that type of stuff under the hood, but just memorize what they looked like. And I got to a point to where I was just flying through the pre-trip inspection, knocking it out. I started to feel real good about it. And when I passed it, it was a feeling that, you know, I enjoyed so much. But what I noticed was that when I passed, there were people, I mean, it don't matter what I was doing, whether it was the certifications, whether it was the CDL, there was people around me that didn't really like, I guess, the fact that I was accomplishing things. And I don't hold it against them. I don't take it personal, because I feel like it's not personal. I feel like, you know, they didn't actually hate me or not like me because I was accomplishing things. I think they were more upset with themselves because here you go, you know, this guy's been here for a year, and then you got a new guy comes in and starts knocking all these different things out that you had the opportunity to do within the year that you've been there, and I've done it in less than 6 months. So I guess that kind of, I guess that makes people feel some type of way. God gave me everything that I got. I didn't make any of this stuff. I just take advantage of the opportunities that he gave me. Before I left that job, I worked my way up to general manager, you know, with the help of some good people inside the company that believed in me and, you know, had my back. I ended up moving to Tupelo, Mississippi to help open an office with them and became the general manager there. Well, I got to a point to where I reached the ceiling of, you know, my potential at that company. I mean, I'm sure I could have gone further if I cared enough to, but I started learning about other things like, you know, I started looking at things that could really help my life out. I felt like I was being taken advantage of in a way, not by the company, but by the people that I had around me. Being a general manager, I'm out in the field, you know, on the weekends, tackling stuff that we didn't get taken care of throughout the week. Me and my girlfriend out there doing this stuff, and we could be out fishing, we could be out having a good time, but we trying to reach our goals and get caught up on things. And then we would have guys come in throughout the week that didn't want to do what they needed to do in the day, so let alone the weekends. So that's what I mean when I say taking advantage of and feeling like, you know, I'm just wasting my time. So I started working on getting my CPWI, or studying for my CPWI, plus visual. For inspection, welding inspection on the pipeline. Well, I didn't know the structure, and I didn't know how this was going to work out or what was going to happen with it. But I worked on it, studied as much as I could, and finally got to a point to where I felt confident enough to go and take the exam. I paid for the exam, $1,900. Went down to Burton, Texas, took the exam, and I was nervous about it, you know, the rest of the week, because you take the exam on Friday after sitting through a course all week long. You take the exam on Friday, and then you go home and just wait for your results. I got my results on Monday at lunchtime, and I just scrolled down to the bottom to see what was said, because it was like 3 pages, and I saw you passed. And man, immediately my heart just, I got so happy with everything. Like, I felt like it was over with. I don't have to go back and redo this. I can go back to work. I went back to my job, and I prepared to move on to the next job. Yeah, I started looking at other certifications, which is, you know, what's in front of me right now. The 1169 is what I'm focused on, what I was just telling you about a minute ago. And I feel pretty confident about it. I know I need to do more studying. I want to do more studying and make sure that I nail this thing down. But it's just another step that I put in front of myself. I realize that, hey, this is something that I need to do if I want to get to where I'm trying to get to. I think if more people took that approach, you don't have to do it the way that I do it, but lay out some kind of goals, lay out some kind of plan to get to where you're trying to get to. And you got to be really, really intentional about what you're trying to do. If getting a CDL is what you're trying to do, break it down into bite-sized pieces and study the whole entire thing. But master each section of it and then go take your test. You got that nailed down. If it's learning how to fish is what you're trying to do, you got to go buy you a rod. You got to go buy you some bait. You got to go buy your hooks and weights, and you got to find a pond. You got to find somewhere to go and get the fish. Figure all that stuff out, and then put your plan into action. Get out there and get it knocked out. That's the only way it's going to happen. The flip side of the coin is that you keep on dreaming. You keep on dreaming, letting it slip. You don't set any kind of goals, and you end up worse off next year than you were the year before because you didn't put the plan into action and go and do the things that you wanted to do. And then you end up mad at a person like me for doing it. I guess what I'm trying to say is just put your plan together. Go after whatever it is you believe in, get it knocked out, and show yourself that you can do it. And that's what's going to bring these other goals, these other things in front of you and have you feeling like, hey, I can knock this out. I can do this too. And you turn into a real go-getter. You got to put that hustle in. You got to go and get whatever it is you feel like is yours. I didn't want to stretch this video out too far. I hope I put enough into it to make the average person realize what it is that's holding them back, or what they should be doing, or what these things mean when they come to you. When you get these feelings, hey, this is what I want to do, but I can't get this done right now because of this. All that stuff is, pretty much under your control, and you gotta shift pieces around and do things. It's kind of like a chessboard. You gotta make the right moves, but you're gonna make a lot of wrong moves along the way, which are gonna teach you what moves to make and what moves not to make. That's what I like about the game of chess. You can play one opponent and he'll whoop you so bad, you'll be looking out for his moves on the next opponent that you play, but it's gonna be all different. So I like to learn from different chess players, different people, so that I'm prepared all the way around for everybody. Not the best chess player in the world, but what I'm trying to say is you don't want to lock into one thing and be stuck trying to figure that one thing out, because it's not going to work on every single chess player. That one move will not work on every single chess player. But if you learn a bunch of different chess players' games, the way they play, you can kind of maneuver through, a tournament, which is basically life, in my opinion. If you learn how a lot of different things work, you can maneuver through life better than just knowing how to do one thing. Is basically what I'm saying. I hope somebody got something out of this, whether it's inspiration, whether it's some kind of insight, whether it's just listening to somebody. I don't know what you might have got out of it. Hopefully somebody got something out of it. That's the goal, for one person to get something out of this. I'd appreciate if you would like and subscribe, and see you next time, man. Thanks.